1. Hello, everyone. Today, I will introduce hanok. Hanok is a traditional Korean house. By looking at hanok, we can learn about the way ordinary people lived during the Chosun period. Hanok is not just an old house. It is an important part of Korean culture and history. Through hanok, we can understand Korean people's lifestyle, wisdom, and respect for nature. Thank you. 2. Hello, everyone. I will talk about how hanok was built. When Korean people built a hanok, they used materials from nature. The floors, doors, and columns were made of wood. The walls were made of a mixture of soil and straw. Nails or screws were rarely used. Because of this, hanoks were easy to dismantle, move, and reassemble. This shows the wisdom of Korean traditional architecture. Hanok was built in harmony with nature. It used natural materials and was designed to fit the Korean environment. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I will introduce the roofs of hanok and social classes. There were two main types of roofs in traditional Korean houses. One was a tiled roof, and the other was a thatched roof. The nobility and wealthy people usually lived in tiled roof houses. Ordinary, middle class, or working people usually lived in thatched roof houses. A thatched roof was made with rice straw. This straw was replaced every year after the rice harvest in the fall. Thatched roof houses were cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Through the roof, we can understand the lifestyle and social class of people in the Chosun period. Thank you. In a Yangban house, men and women had separate living quarters. Men lived in the outer house, called sarangchae. Women lived in the inner house, called enchae. If there were servants, they stayed in the outer house near the main gate. This area was called hengnangchae. A kan is the distance between two pillars. It was used to measure the size of a hanok. The structure of hanok shows the family system and social order of the Chosun period. Thank you. 5. Hello, everyone. I will talk about daily life in a hanok. In a hanok, the toilet was separate from the main building. People did not have flushing toilets in those days, so toilets often smelled bad. They also collected toilet waste and used it as fertilizer. At night, people used a chamber pot in the bedroom. Yangban noblemen washed their faces in a bowl in their room in the morning. At night, they washed their bodies while keeping their clothes on. This was because they did not want to show their bodies to others. In this way, they followed Confucian principles. Thank you. 6. Hello, everyone. I will introduce ondol and the culture of taking off shoes. Ondol is the traditional Korean underfloor heating system. It is a very efficient heating system. First, it heats the stove in the kitchen. Then, warm air moves under the floors of the living rooms. Because the floors were warm and cozy, Korean people spent a lot of time on the floor. They sat, ate, and slept on the floor. That is why Koreans wanted to keep the floor very clean. For this reason, people take off their shoes before entering a house. This custom is still common in Korea today. Thank you. 7. Hello, everyone. I will introduce a traditional Korean summer item called jukbuin. Jukbuin is a woven bamboo structure. It looks a little like a pillow. The word juk means bamboo, and buin means wife. So jukbuin is sometimes called a bamboo wife. In the past, men used it during hot summer days. They hugged it while taking a nap. Because it was made of bamboo, air could pass through it easily. This helped people cool themselves in summer. Jukbuin shows how Korean people use natural materials wisely in daily life. Thank you. 8. Hello, everyone. I will introduce hanbok. Hanbok is traditional Korean clothing. Unlike the traditional clothing of China and Japan, hanbok usually has two pieces. It consists of a jacket and trousers or a skirt. In ancient times, both Korean men and women wore jackets and trousers. Later, during the Three Kingdoms period, women began wearing skirts with Chinese-influenced designs. Hanbok does not have buttons. Instead, it is fastened with ribbons. When wearing hanbok, people also wear boat-shaped cotton socks called busun. Hanbok is beautiful, graceful, and an important symbol of Korean culture. Thank you. 9. Hello everyone. I will talk about Korean fermented food and jeongdeok. Korean food has a strong tradition of fermentation. Fermented foods have deep flavor and can be stored for a long time. They may also have health benefits. Representative fermented foods include kimchi, doenjang, soybean paste, gochujang, red pepper paste, ganjang, soy sauce, and jeokgal, salted seafood. A jeongdeok is a large jar for storing food. It is better for fermenting food than a plastic container because it has good ventilation. Koreans used jeongdeok to store soy sauce, red pepper paste, and soybean paste. Jeongdeoks were usually placed outside the house in a sunny spot. They show the wisdom of Korean food culture. Thank you. 10. Hello everyone. I will introduce traditional Korean food culture. A traditional Korean meal is usually composed of rice, soup, and side dishes. Rice is the center of the meal. It is eaten with soup, stew, kimchi, vegetables, fish, meat, and other side dishes. Korean food also uses seasonal ingredients. In spring, Koreans eat fresh greens. In summer, they enjoy cool dishes. In autumn, they use newly harvested grains and fruits. In winter, preserved foods such as kimchi are important. Korean food culture is also closely connected to sharing. People place several side dishes in the center of the table and share them together. This reflects the Korean value of family, community, and togetherness. Thank you. We examined hanok in daily life. Hanok shows Korean wisdom and harmony with nature using natural materials and ondol. Traditional customs express respect and community in clothing, food, and homes. Sharing food and seasonal rites highlight family and togetherness. These traditions still influence modern life and symbolize Korean identity.